Hi, this is William. I'm with McMurray and Stern. Today we're going to be talking about a few things about the mobile manual assist carriage, movable carriages. As you can see, we have 3 systems divided by a stationary system there. It's actually 2 systems. And they're all simple movement. All the carriages, which is what these are all sitting on tracks as a railroad track, and so they're immovable, and they will only run from left to right as you move them manually. And how that's done is that on the other side of this front panel, there's as you can see in there, a chain driven that drives down to the sprocket, which is the shaft down at the bottom. So movement of the carriage moves the chain, so that's how it's assisted. Super light, I believe up to about 6,000 to 7,000 pounds can be put on these carriages and will still be able to be moved simply by a finger. I don't recommend a finger, but a good grip on that, that's why there's that. Also, if you're coming in between to get something or retrieve something between the aisles, once you get your space that's good enough, if you want to bring a cart in or what have you, just make sure this little push in here will lock it. So in the event that you're inside and somebody comes along, doesn't see you and wants to move it, they'll be like, hey, and they'll normally check to see down there. If it's all clear, somebody just forgot to unplug it, and then you can remove it again. There is no braking system on this, which means that if you're inside, the only way to stop it is by hand. And that means that this is where a lot of the problems come on these type of systems, is that most people with a lot of weight on it want to stop it by hand, and they pull on this, which puts tension on the chain, and oftentimes, like a bike, the chain will pop off. Then somebody will have to come out, open this face panel, get to the mechanics of it, and readjust the chain. So there's no reason, speed is not part of any of it. So as you go and you move, and you get close to like closing this aisle, just stop about here, and it'll kind of close on itself. There's bumpers on there that'll stop. The bumpers you'll see are down in here. And there's one here and one on the far end as well, between each of the different systems. Another thing, a component, is that these are interchangeable. We talked about it a minute ago with Tim and said if these wanted to be moved, a larger box here, oftentimes the heavier, larger boxes are on the bottom. If this doesn't suit the custom area or the custom design that you have as far as storage goes, a simple way of doing it is to lift up here. These are shelving. The shelves sit across on these supports. And these supports, of course, are here. And here's how, within an inch adjustment, if these needed to be an inch higher, this shelf, then of course you would just remove these panels, or the shelving, set them to the side, and then hit up here, it would loosen, and then you just set the anchors into which slot that you prefer, making the space up higher or less. And then of course just put the shelving pieces back on. And they're simple. They come right out, stack them up, back in first. Once you're in, simply drop them.
Cool.
Oh, the rails. Okay, so also, as I said in the beginning, all these carriages are sitting on rails. You'll see one here, one in the middle, one in the far end, and they go from wall to wall, or however the distance of the carriages move. They sit on here on the wheels on the inside of here. Oh yeah, let me go back here. Let's see. So inside here are the wheels that sit on top of the track here. These hooks that you can see in here, these are called anti-tips, and it's a seismic safety. So if there was some sort of an earthquake and these were moving, these go under the ridge of the rim of the track and prevent it from tipping over. But I always say if it's going to tip over, the building would be down at that point. But the tracks of the rails should always be kept clean because of rubber bands or paper clips or what have you would go in here. Once they get in here and builds up, sometimes they work themselves into the wheel and you can't see it, and it'll stop the carriage from moving. So continuously check and keep the rails in between clean. a simple vacuum or a broom brushing out. Magnet works well. And we don't suggest, and I know here's one thing I can remember, suggest moving these more than one at a time. Being that they're empty and they're super light, I could probably move all of them, and I'll just move 3. Very simple, like this. It's not to be done. These aren't designed to move more than one at a time. So the idea is once these are on, as tempting as it may be, only move one at a time. Don't move multiple ones because it just puts extra double stress on the chain on the one that's moving. So one at a time, let that go its way. As I said, simply a nice grip. These roll so you don't have to roll with it. I'm good there. Press the lock in there. It's this small pin that locks into the board. It just restricts this from moving. Once it's locked, hey, I have free range in here now. So always check down the aisle before moving the aisle for debris either on the floor or somebody may be in there, or perhaps a cart or something at the end that you can't see and you think you need to move it, something's blocking it. It could be something as simple as, oh, there's a cart there or a box on the floor. Always double check before you move. On the ends, these are stationary ones. Naturally and obviously, these do not move. The stationary ones will separate the movable carriages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stationary, and then four more this way. So 2 systems: 4 movable carriages, 5 movable carriages. And so in the event that something happens and you need somebody to come take a look, you would say system 1 as opposed to system 2, carriage number 4 has a problem with it sticking because of something's in there. That's how you would simply report it. But other than that, it's just the stationary here, stationary on the end as well. Yeah, here we have some materials that are on the shelving already. I couldn't guess to see how much weight it is. But as I said, you can put anywhere on these ones between 6,000 to 8,000 pounds, and with a simple turn. Again, don't use just your finger, but just to demonstrate how easy it is to turn. Always grab it. Oops, I made a mistake. I was supposed to go on this one. You come back here as fast as you like. Stop. Find the whole pin. Locks in. I'm good. And then go about your business. Heavy stuff, of course, should be stacked on the bottom for ease of mobility, and the lighter boxes up on top. It's safe to say that give yourself plenty of room if you're stacking on a cart of sorts. Never, as tempting as it may sound and seem, never attempt to step and climb up on the carriages. Always have a step ladder, something that's safe, because of course they're not designed for that. Getting on one, it may move, you can slip. 90% of accidents happen when people try to climb it. So resist the temptation, be safety first, and get yourself a step ladder first, and try that. And stack as you go. These are also on dual entry, so I can reach into if something's on this side, which is great. Oftentimes there's a separator in between. This has both sides. This is ideal for large packaging and maybe product that is different sizes. So boxes, big boxes, long boxes, wood, what have you, bins. This is the ideal carriage design for that sort of storage needs. That would probably be it.
Cool. I think